Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel, and welcome back to Lawfolds, Scotland. This is episode number 51, and I know in episode number 50, I said I wasn't real sure if episode 50 would be the last game day of this particular, or would be the last episode for this particular game day. And you know something? I enjoy playing this map so much that I think I'm just wanting to stretch it out just about as long as I possibly can. And so we're going to kind of do a mixture of a different kind of task today. Now, I realize in episode number 50 we did a great deal of spraying, and we're not going to spray for very long in this episode. I'm going to basically drive us over to our smaller field over, well, not the super tiny field, but the other field over here, field number 29, that I believe maybe we planted in corn. I can't remember. Or maybe it's sugar beets. I know that we planted a lot of sugar beets on this map. But in any event, if I pull up our menu, if you will, if I look at our sort of to-do list, we see that all of our core fields in here are all super fertilized. So everything is fertilized up to the max state here. Field number 29 we planted in the game day yesterday. Field number 9, which we can't forget about, is our cornfield up here for the BGA, and it needs one more day of growth, and we can chop that at that last growth stage. So that'll probably be something that we do tomorrow or in the next game day episode, maybe 52. But in any event, we've got this field that we need to fertilize over here, right there. And then this field, obviously, we fertilized in episode number 50, so it's not ready to fertilize again. But we certainly can't forget that, because now that fertilization is working, or at least 3 times fertilization is working just fine on this map, we want to take advantage of that and get that maximum yield. So this is the little field that I'm talking about right here, and we will just go ahead and unfold our sprayer here and get this little field sprayed. And I'm not going to mess with GPS on this little field. It's kind of small, and I think we can probably see what we need to do and everything. And so we will go ahead and turn our sprayer on and get to spray in here. And like I said, we're going to do a little bit of, I've got about, I don't know, 3 different things I think we're going to do on this particular game day. And just wanted to, like I said, just go ahead and stretch this out, map out about as long as I possibly can. I know quite a few of you are certainly still enjoying this map. You're certainly not excited about the possibility of me retiring this map, replacing this map, or ending this series. And of course, I'm not going to be ending this series prematurely. We will go through all of the motions that we need to do. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm going to make an episode out of every single field that we harvest and every single thing that we do. But I kind of thought that I would do this. This is episode number 51, of course, and I'm hoping that maybe, just maybe, when I fast forward into the next game day, that our grass situation will be a little bit better, and maybe I will be doing a live stream is the word that I'm actually trying to get out of my mouth. A live stream for this coming Saturday. I think that's going to be, as I look over at my spreadsheet, like the 29th of April or so. And of course, you guys are seeing this well after the fact. So, but just to keep in mind that I will try my very, very best, pending that I'm not doing a lot of traveling the week before, or the week, I guess, leading up to a particular weekend. I will try my very, very best to do a live stream at least once on the weekend, either Saturday or Sunday. And Saturday mornings do kind of work a little bit better for me, and that's one of the reasons why I'm building up a little bit of a buffer in episodes, is so that I don't feel so pressurized in recording the number of episodes that I kind of need to record, or that I've been sort of accustomed to recording on, say, Saturday as an example, that I can flex my time just a little bit, and I can bring in a live stream that I spend, anywhere from, I don't know, an hour to 2 hours in doing. And of course, I made a promise to you all, especially to my loyal episode watchers, those of you who watch each and every episode. I did make a promise to you, and it is a promise that I'm going to keep. And that is that I'm going to try not to do a whole lot of major progress during the Let's Plays, only simply because I don't want you guys necessarily to have to endure a 90-minute or even a 2-hour full-blown live stream recorded episode just to kind of figure out what it is that we done, how did we get all that money, or how did we do all of this. I think that most likely the live stream, as again I'm sort of thinking about this before you guys have even had an opportunity to watch it, but I'm sort of thinking that the live stream that I will be doing this coming weekend will obviously be about mowing, most likely, because again I was going to do that last weekend, and that was kind of the live stream, the Saturday live stream, and of course I'm talking about Saturday the 22nd, I think, of April. That live stream was what I refer to as the fiasco live stream, only simply because it really, everything that could have gone wrong basically went wrong in that live stream. I was trying to basically simulcast my feed or my stream to both Twitch and to YouTube, and I've sort of already explained why I was doing it that way, and I'm not going to go back into that again, but so that was problematic. And then the other thing is I really had it in my heart that I was going to do mowing. I was going to basically do grass work that entire episode, and you guys know I've talked about this before. I don't really script out the stuff that I'm going to do. Obviously, the course of, you know, the farming aspects of this game, of this virtual life that we sort of live, dictates what we need to do to a certain extent. Obviously, we need to plant our crops at the right time. We need to fertilize our crops when they need to be fertilized. We need to harvest our crops, obviously, when they become ready to harvest, or we run the risk of the plants withering and we lose all that hard work. So to that respect, the game, the virtual life here, does basically dictate what we do. But I basically don't go into any sort of, other than maybe planting when I kind of know that I'm going to plant these fields or these particular crops at this particular point in time. I really don't go into a lot of detail and say, okay, but this is what we're going to do and this is when we're going to do it. However, I did sort of set aside and say, well, I would really like to do my grass work for Lawfolds for the second year, because we basically do need grass, we do need hay. I don't think we're going to need silage, because we do have the silage bells that we basically created in last fall, I believe it was. I think we got 2 cuttings out of our grass field last year, and so we've got those silage bells. It's a full trailer load, and we basically left them in the field there over winter. And of course, you can certainly do that with wrapped bells. So we do have those, and I did basically send one of our hired helpers down there to move the trailer into position and go ahead and load those bells on the trailer for us. And then before we end this episode 51, we'll go down and drive those bells closer to the dairy farm. So that is pretty much that. Let me just bring this up again, because yeah, that's maximum fertilization there, so nothing else to really do. Field number 30, of course, this is our soybean test field, and we will obviously harvest it if it works, but it's more or less just a test to see if that's going to work for us. So basically, we just have really one more field that we need to fertilize tomorrow's game day, or the next game day, and then of course we will take care of field number 30 as well, just in case it does work, we'll get maximum yield out of those soybeans. And so we will just go ahead and fold up our sprayer and head this guy back over towards the farm. and find out the other task that we need to do for today. I hope you all are having a wonderful day, a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, depending on where you live and when you're watching it. I do hope that everything is going very smoothly for you. I know that I'm having a wonderful day. Of course, anytime that I can play Farm Sim 17 is a very wonderful day for me. I've got to say that, you know, I don't know about you, but I certainly, and let me just I guess preface this little comment that I'm going to make here with the fact that I had accrued over 700 hours in Farm Sim 15 over the almost 2 years that I played it. And basically what I'm doing, we're not going to go harvest anything. I'm just checking to see how our harvester is doing as far as maintenance goes. So we do need to do maintenance on our harvester. Now, unfortunately, or actually I was going to say unfortunately, actually it's very fortunate because we've got that toolbox that we can do that. But we'll do, it's going to be another game day or so before we need our harvester. Oh heck, why not? Let's just go ahead and do maintenance on our harvester. We will grab our toolbox out of the shed here. It's possible that some of you guys that are watching this episode may not have seen this. So this is our little maintenance toolbox. It's got all the tools that we basically need in it to perform maintenance on our equipment. And the great thing about this toolbox mod, and I've got to say thank you to Eustace Pharmer for adding this to the map, because and I want to just clarify something. I often say that Giants Editor scares me. That's kind of a joke, folks. It really doesn't scare me. Not much in life scares me. But I guess what I really should say is that while it doesn't scare me, I just don't have a whole lot of interest in. I don't have a whole lot of interest in. There we go. Left Alt R. I always forget what the key combination is for that. So $740 to perform maintenance on our combine, but clearly it's going to be worth it. But anyway, not much in life scares me. Oh, you know, snakes scare me and things like that. But crazy people. But it's not that Giants Editor scares me. It's just that I really don't have any interest in that aspect of it. I don't have any interest kind of in modding, but let me say that I do highly appreciate everyone that does mod for us. And I've said this before, and there should really be no doubt in anybody's mind who listens regularly to my episodes that I genuinely cherish each and every one of those guys out there that creates maps and mods equipment and all that good kind of stuff, because without that, we basically wouldn't have all the fun stuff that we have. And I've been using this parking brake mod now for several weeks, and I still often get in these rigs and I fail to release the parking brake. But it just doesn't, it's not something that I have a lot of time for. Creating like snow masks and stuff like that for maps with the Seasons mod, I just, because I don't have the time, it is a time-consuming thing. I just don't, I guess I just don't have the interest. I've got so many things that sort of go on in my life other than, recording YouTube videos and such, and it's just something that doesn't interest me. I would rather enjoy and appreciate the work that others do as far as the creation aspects of this hobby, and appreciate that and help showcase that and help make those guys popular, than actually learn how to do that myself. Okay, so we're going to set our parking brake because that's probably the right thing to do. Now, I did get a call earlier today, and basically one of our, the A&M Group Grains company basically is in need for some barley. Now, we still have quite a bit of stuff in our storage here. We've got 23,000 liters of barley, but we're going to go ahead and take them down some barley because we've got it and they want it. And well, we'll take their money, you know. We've got, obviously our fields will be coming ready to harvest very, very quickly. Actually, you know, I don't even know if we've ever used the DB50 on this map. I can't remember if we actually have, and my apologies if we haven't, because I got this. A&M, oh, that's at the main store, isn't it? Okay, well, since we're facing this direction, we'll go out and around this way because there's multiple ways of getting to the store. And so I see I failed to activate my head tracker, so my apologies there. But we'll just give them all of the barley that we have in our storeroom or in our silo, storage silo, and take that down to them. Yep, they got that loaded up just fine. So we'll come down here after we get back from delivering this grain, and we'll come back and go ahead and move that into storage. Excuse me. Allergies are getting much, much better. I won't go into a lot of detail because I don't want to be that kind of guy that is constantly harping on about his illnesses or whatever. And actually, not that I know anybody that it's a YouTuber that does that, but I don't want to be classified as that type of an individual. But I will just say allergies are getting a little bit better. I think I told you all or mentioned that Zysol or something. It's a little commercial with an owl talking to you in a British accent, and so I've been taking that in the evening. So Zysol in the evening and Claritin in the morning. And you know, my wife had nasal surgery a year ago, almost about a year and a week ago, and so she got turned on to this product by the ENT, the ear, nose, and throat doctor, called Alkalol. And it's basically it's sold behind the counter. You don't have to show ID or anything to buy it. It's not like Sudafed or some of those, but for whatever reason it is behind the counter, but a prescription is not necessary. But that's sort of a nasal wash, and I won't go into a lot of details as to what that incurs, but it is really helping out a lot. So if you're suffering from seasonal allergies, maybe take a look at that new Zysol allergy medication, and maybe even take a look at you know, the nasal rinses and stuff like that. But I tend to have some relief from that, and that has helped tremendously. The other thing that's kind of going on in my life is I have got back on my exercise workout routine. I managed to, and I think actually this is something I have never talked about. So here we go. But basically about 3.5, 4 years ago, well, actually, let me go back further than that. Probably about 10 or 12 years ago, 15 years ago, I got diagnosed with high cholesterol, extremely high cholesterol, and so my doctor put me on different statin drugs, and I had to go in every 3 months after starting to take them to get, you know, my blood work done to make sure that I wasn't having any sort of liver. I think it's liver or maybe kidney. Anyway, some of the statins could cause issues with either your liver or your kidney, and I can't remember which one. But anyway, the blood work was all fine and everything. But after taking the statins for about 3 or 4 years, or maybe 5 years, I began to develop some aches and some pains and some sort of general overall mental cloudiness. And it began freaking me out just a little bit. You know, guys have what we jokingly refer to as selective memory and selective hearing and all that kind of stuff, especially when we're speaking to our significant others. But I was actually, I mean, this was something that was affecting me to the point to where that it was affecting my job. I felt like it was affecting my job. And of course, nobody ever necessarily said anything, but it was just one of those things. And of course, the aches and pains was quite the other issue that was causing me a little bit of problems. And so I wanted to address all of that. And so I got to talking with a friend of mine who was taking some of the similar same kind of medicines, and he began telling me that, well, you know, Jerry, I'm having some of the same problems. And he says, basically, I stopped taking it, and I have been just handling my cholesterol through diet and exercise, and you know, it's helping out tremendously. And so my doctor, I've got to say that I've got a really good primary care physician, and so, or family doctors, maybe it might, you guys in the UK might refer to it, or in Europe might refer to it. Anyway, he had never, I mean, he always told me, he says, Jerry, I think you are a pretty good candidate for getting your cholesterol or your high cholesterol under control with diet and exercise. He says, but then again, you know, taking a pill was just way too easy, and my lifestyle, being busy, working, you know, all hours of the day and night and all that kind of stuff, it was just much easier for me to pop a pill once a day than it was for me to actually, you know, get my bottom off the sofa and actually go out and do something, and kind of push away from the table a little bit earlier than what I might normally want to do. And so I finally decided that, you know, I needed to do something about this. But before I really got serious about the diet and exercise, I really got frustrated with the aches and pains and the mental cloudiness that I believed was occurring from taking the statins. And I did something that probably you should never ever do, and that was I basically quit taking my statins, and I quit them cold turkey, and I basically did that without speaking with my doctor first. And so about 9 months or so went by, and it came around time for my annual physical, and I went and I had my blood work and everything done, and I went and saw the doctor, who basically gave me a very good lecturing and told me that, you know, unless I wanted to basically get fitted for a coffin in, you know, 10 years, 15 years, whatever. I mean, of course, you can't predict these things, but that basically I should either A, go back on the statins, or B, get serious about diet and exercise. So because basically I, you know, sort of didn't want to go back on the statins, because I'd reached the point after about, probably 4 or 5 months where the aches and pains and the mental cloudiness and everything had kind of went away, that I sort of decided, okay, well, I know what that path leads me down. So, you know, so I began talking with the doctor, and I began walking, just to kind of shorten this episode, or shorten this conversation just a little bit. I began walking, and I basically went and bought one of these Fitbit trackers, and a few of my amateur radio friends had them, and I'm just going to wash the windshield off here just a little bit. And so some of my amateur radio friends had these Fitbit trackers, and so we kind of got in a little bit of a competition with one another. And I sort of set my goals at 10,000 steps a day, which is roughly about 5 miles, approximately 5 miles. And I began counting my calories, and I use, between the Fitbit website, I use a web-based application called MyFitnessPal, where I essentially track all of my food intake. So essentially Fitbit and MyFitnessPal will synchronize with each other. And so it knows how many calories I've burned through my tracker. And so, so basically, I began counting my calories, and I managed to lose, within the course of about 18 months to 2 years, I lost over 50 pounds. And I was weighing in at about 250 or so, and I got down to actually lost more than 50 pounds, I guess, now that I'm thinking about it. Got down to about 170, so about 70 pounds, and I did this over a course of about 2 years, 2.5 years, something like that. And so, but unfortunately, I got busy last year after we got back from Europe. I got busy last year, and then sort of the holidays ran into each other, and before I knew it, basically, well, before I knew it, I'm running over the hitch there, but before I knew it, I had gained about 15 pounds back, and so I am basically walking again, which I think is partially to blame for some of the allergy suffering that I'm doing, because essentially I get bored with the treadmill. I get so bored with the treadmill. I'd much rather walk outside, and so when weather permits and it's not too terribly cold or it's not raining or snowing, I like to get outside and walk. And so I get up, I set my alarm for a few minutes before 5 o'clock in the morning. I get up and just throw on a pair of sweats and a baseball cap and a light jacket and some gloves, and I head out and I do about 45 minutes or 50 minutes or so of walking. I've got a park that's right across the street from my house, or at least across from my neighborhood, and I walk over to that park and I walk that circuit twice, and that gives me about, between the time that I do that circuit twice and get back to the house, I've managed to walk about 7,000 steps. And then usually once I get to the office, either in the afternoon or maybe mid-morning, I will take one of my, quote-unquote 15-minute breaks or so, and I will go out and do another, 15 or 20 minutes of fast-paced walking, and I get my 10,000 steps that way, and that gives me I burn about, 400, 500 calories in doing that. And I'm just tracking everything again, like I said before, and making sure that I'm burning more than I'm consuming, and you will lose weight that way. And right now I'm not really concerned about how quick I lose it. I'm just more or less concerned about making sure that I end every day with a little bit of a deficit as far as the amount of food that I bring in, and that's slowly allowing me to lose about a pound a week or so, and that's been fine. I'm starting to feel it. My jeans are fitting a little bit less snug than they were, and so just trying to get in shape and get ready for summer. So anyway, we are about 27, 28 minutes into our episode number 51 here on the beautiful Lawfolds map. And I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate that. I appreciate you guys watching and commenting and subscribing and telling your friends all about it. I appreciate you guys leaving comments and asking questions if you have them. You can ask a question or leave a comment below the video, of course, or you can also email me directly at grizzlybearsims@gmail.com. Again, that's grizzlybearsims@gmail.com. And I will just plug my website here one moment here. If you see a mod that you like and you would like to use that on your map, like for example this nifty trailer here that does have auto-loading features built into it, you'll find the map or the link to the mod on my mod spreadsheet. So just go to grizzlybearsims.com and look for the upper right hand corner of the page, and you'll see a link for add-ons and mod spreadsheet. That's where you'll see all my mods. Just look down at the bottom and click on the Farm Sim 17 tab. And I just realized, having said Farm Sim 17, I realized that I was in a train of thought earlier and I was talking about something. Farm Sim 15, about 700 and something hours in that game. Farm Sim 17, I've got over a couple of hundred hours in the game so far. And I really think, I gotta say, I enjoy Farm Sim 17 much, much more than I think I did with 15. And I've really enjoyed playing it. I've really enjoyed bringing you the Let's Plays. And then finally, make sure you go over and check out the Three Dudes Gaming Network and also PCSG. Both communities are wonderful communities, very laid back, very relaxed, very mature, and very helpful to each and to all, whether you are just new to the game or new to the hobby, or whether you've been in it for, since the FS9, FS11, 13 days, and you just have a question about something, you will get your answer answered, usually accurately and very professionally and very friendly over in those communities. So thank you all so much for watching. Again, I really do appreciate it. Take care now, and please come back for another episode on the Lone Star map, which will be coming up next, or Lawfolds coming up the day after. So take care. God bless you all. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.